Now, family, I am honored tonight to be bringing to the line to start off 2022, none other than our one-star platinum, Nina Jackson Mitchell. Listen, let me tell you something. She is phenomenal. She is the type of woman who carries her business and her family with such grace and style, but she also then passes that on to those that are around her. Whether you are immediately on her team or simply have the opportunity to be in her presence, she is going to challenge you to be your absolute best in everything. Your best as a person, your best as a business owner. If you book travel, if you build a team, whatever it is, she is going to encourage you to be your best at it. So for those of you that are note takers, she always gives those lasting, memorable notes. So you want to make sure you're paying attention, clear out the room, tell everyone you'll be back with them after the call, because you don't want to be double dipping. You want to dive in and get the nuggets that Nina is about to pour out on us. She is a Founders Council member. She is a 100K ring earner. She is a fabulous, fabulous world traveler. She is an outstanding wife and mother, and she's setting that amazing example for her family of what it's like to trade and take time, freedom back from the system. But I'll let her tell her story. I just love her. She is one of my sisters, and I want you all to jump in the chat box and do me an amazing favor and help welcome to the line Nina. Nina, are you available to take the call tonight?
Aloha, Deidre. I am. Happy New Year, sis.
Happy New Year to you. The call is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Evolution Travel family, happy 2022. Before we get started, take a moment and type in the chat box a hearty thank you to Deidre, who always hosts our webinars and does it with such grace. We thank you and we appreciate you and all that you do for us, Deidre. And I personally appreciate you for what you have done for me and what you continue to do for me. I really, truly appreciate it. Now, guys, it's been a while since I have done a training for us. So I've already said my prayer, and I'm hoping that you guys touch and agree with me that we get the information the way that we need to get it. We hear the words that we need to hear, and we interpret it the best to our ability, so that this information can carry us further in our business, because we want to not just make it through 2022. We want to thrive. We made it through 21. We made it through 20. Both years were extremely difficult. How many of you guys experienced some type of loss in 20 and in 2021? How many of you guys dealt with sickness or a loss of a job or a loss of property, just some type of loss in 2021? It was a very, very difficult year, very difficult year. So what we want to do in 2022 is not survive. We want to thrive. So we're going to start this year off right with the best mindset, and we're going to carry that through the year. So can I get you guys to touch and agree with me in the chat box that 2022 will be a year that we thrive, not just as individuals, but as partners, as friends, as family, as mothers, daughters, sons, husbands. We want to just thrive in 2022. Can we touch and agree that this will be a year of thriving for us? All right. So let me get this shared so that we can get it started. Our theme for 2022 will be to thrive, right? We're going to touch and agree that we are going to thrive in 2022. Just a moment. If you haven't done so already, take a moment and type in the chat box who you are and where you're logging in from. Deidre, I'm having the same problem that I was having before with sharing my my screen. Can you see it? Are you able to see it?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Awesome. Thank you. If you guys haven't taken the time already to type in the chat box to let us know who you are and where you're logging in from, please do that. And the reason why we do that is not just so that we can say hello, it's so that we know who we can connect with. You never know who is in your area, who is like right next door to you. And then we want to be able to connect. We thrive on being a family-oriented company. So we want to know who we are. So let us know who you are, where you're logging in from, and how long you've been a part of Evolution. As Deidre said, my name is Mrs. Nina Jackson Mitchell. I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan, but I have lived in beautiful Honolulu, Hawaii since 2014. And soon we will be trading in my pineapple for a peach. So we will be relocating to Georgia soon, and I will be sure to let you guys know how that progress is happening. So we're going to talk today about professionalism. Now, this is an important topic that many of us take for granted. Many of us just feel like we know what it means. And it's not something that is open for interpretation, especially if you plan to be successful in the workplace. And this is not only advice that you can use in your profession in Evolution Travel, but this is something that you can use in your 9 to 5 if you have one. This is something that you can use in your everyday life if you are dealing with people at your children's school or people in your church or in your community, in your neighborhood. Professionalism is not something that's open for interpretation. It just is what it is. It's just like the truth. The truth doesn't need to be explained. It just is what it is. So what we're going to do today is kind of delve into this. This will be exceptionally good for those of you who are new in the travel space and starting your business new. And it'll be a good refresher for those of us who have been in this space for a while. There's nothing wrong with a good old-fashioned restart, right? So we're going to go over what it means, what professionalism means. Now, just by definition, professionalism is to conduct aims or qualities that characterize or mark a profession or a professional person. So what does that mean? It means to conduct yourself as someone who is mature. And that we're not going to pad it and be polite today. We're going to talk as adults because we plan on thriving in 2022. So that means when we have to have the hard conversations, we're going to have them, because that not only helps me as a person by being obedient to what God has for me to do and his plan for my life, it also can help you in all aspects of your life. So professionalism means to conduct yourself as a professional. It means that you are aiming or that you're using the qualities of your profession or as a professional person. Your professional behavior is a major, major key to your success. How many of you guys have walked into a business, a place of business, whether it was a restaurant or a store, a shoe store, clothing store, you walked into a place of business and decided right from the beginning, oh, absolutely not. I am not doing business with this place, and turned around and left. How many of you guys have had an experience like that, like almost instantaneously? Or if you've called a place of business and the person that you dealt with answered the phone really rudely or curt with you, and you decided instantly, nope, I'm not doing business with this company. How many of you guys have experienced that in the marketplace? I know I have. And I'm very particular about where I spend my money and where I do business. I'm also very particular about giving the type of service that I wish to receive. But how many of you guys have dealt with that? On the flip side, how many of you guys have walked into a business and the people there were so pleasant and so inviting that you ended up buying not just what you went to get, but you ended up spending money that you did not have to buy some things that you did not need, simply because they made you comfortable, or they made you happy, or they showed you other things that could definitely be helpful for you and whatever you were shopping for that day. A person's attitude as it pertains to the business can make or break it. So you want to be mindful of how you are conducting yourself, how you are responding to your potential clients. And that bleeds over into social media too. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. But your professional behavior is a major key to your success. It can make or break you. Understanding professionalism is definitely necessary for your long-term success. So that means at the very basic level of understanding, you need to really know what it means to be professional. So this is something that we've had to talk about before. When you're on a familiarization trip, a fam trip, is it professional to dress in business casual clothing as you're going on the tours of the different properties? Is it professional to wear your bathing suit as you are meeting with business development managers and touring the properties? There's a time and a place for everything. And professionalism means that you understand the time and the place. So if the business meeting is around the pool, it wouldn't be professional to have on a three-piece suit. At the same time, if you are touring a property, you want to make sure that you are dressed appropriately with some walking shoes on that you can be comfortable in. At the same time, your clothing should reflect what you are taking advantage of at that moment. Professionalism is multifaceted. Now, as a professional, you have specific responsibilities, and let's go over this. So make sure you guys are taking notes, especially if you are new in the travel space, because you definitely can carry these traits over into this business, and it'll definitely help you be successful. So you want to ensure that you are trained and continuing your training on a regular basis. So we're talking about not just completing your professional travel agent training. That is only the initial training. That's the training that everyone does. But it is your professional responsibility to continue your training on a regular basis. So being on this training is one of your responsibilities. Now, we understand that everybody can't make it to everything, but what do we do corporate wise or even in our teams to accommodate you? We record the trainings. So it is still your responsibility to go back and review the trainings, because the information that is shared on these trainings are things that you need in order to thrive as a professional. And remember, we said our going thing for 2022 is to thrive. We are not going to survive 22. We are going to thrive, right? So you want to ensure that you are trained and continuing your training on a regular basis. Show up for the trainings. If you cannot show up in person in live time, make sure that you watch the recording. It's not just about these trainings, but the certification trainings for niche markets and for brands. You want to make sure you're taking advantage of those too. Even though we are independent contractors and we are in business for ourselves, we're not by ourselves. We share the information that you need literally on a daily basis. But at the end of the day, it still is going to require you to do the actual work. So you should be seeking out trainings in Travel Agent Academy and Travel Agent University. That is a part of your responsibility as a professional. In order to service your clients to the best of your ability, you have to have the information, have access to it to be able to give it to them. Does that make sense? Can you guys type in the chat box if you're following along? You also need to ensure that your appearance is always professional for events. That encompasses travel parties, trade shows, familiarization trips, anything that is dealing with your profession. And again, this carries over into your personal life. So if you're going to a PTA meeting at your child's school, you don't want to wear your bathing suit. Professionalism, again, is multifaceted. So you want to ensure your appearance is always professional for events, that you dress for appropriately for whatever the event is. Be timely for events, in person or online. Now, for those on the line that know me, they know that for my private events, that I am always late. It is understood that Nina is going to be late for any party. If we're hanging out, I am going to be late. Late is my middle name. But when it comes to my professional life, I actually arrive early. To be early is to be on time. To be on time is to be late. To be late is just uncivilized. So be timely for your events. When you have training, log in 5 minutes early so that you can prepare and get everything that you need, and just to be where you need to be so that you can get into the right mindset. If it's a travel party or a familiarization trip, you want to show up a little bit early in order to be where you're supposed to be. And then you need to allow time for life to happen. How many of you guys have been on your way someplace important and there was an accident in front of you and you needed a little extra time to make it there? If you've already left early, then you're going to make it there on time because you have that little pocket of time to make it. You have that cushion. So make sure that you are timely for your events. If you have anything planned to meet with a client, if you have an online meeting with a client or you're meeting with them in person, make sure that you show up a little earlier. Be consistent with your marketing and your advertising. What you don't want to do is tell your social media family or tell your friends, your associates, your family, hey, I'm a travel agent and I'm ready to book all of your travel. And then you don't say anything else about it. If you knew someone was selling clothes and you needed a piece of clothing, but they never talk about it, would you be more likely to go to them to inquire about what they have? Or would you keep scrolling or would you keep inquiring with those who are constantly advertising about what they have to offer? It keeps that fresh in your mind. You also want to carry that over. Be consistent with your marketing and your advertising so people don't forget that you are a travel consultant. That also goes to your responsibility as a professional. Conduct your business transactions within regulations while meeting your client's needs. So what does that mean? Archer Travel has a regulation that you do not filter client payments through your personal or even your business bank accounts, that the client's payments go from their credit card or their debit card directly to the vendor website. That is a regulation. Some clients are uncomfortable with giving that information to you or completing a credit card authorization form. You know, we're always going to talk real. We're going to keep it 100, as we say. Even though the client may be uncomfortable with it, it's a regulation that our host agency requires. It's non-negotiable. So you're going to meet the client's need by explaining to them that this is not only a regulation, but it's put in place to protect you as the consumer and me as the business owner. You get that information to them as securely as possible, and you reassure them by letting them know that they don't have to complete all of their credit card information on the form. We only take the last 4 digits of their credit card on the form, and we complete the entire transaction over the phone. But this form is to protect them as well as you. Your explanation will be your demonstration as a professional. Does that make sense to you guys? Your explanation will be your demonstration as a professional. So again, you want to conduct business transactions within regulations while meeting the client's needs. You do not compromise one for the other. If you do not know, admit it and offer to do the research to find the answer. I respect honesty. If you don't know, say you don't know. It won't make me feel like you're less than a person or less than a professional or that you are less than anything because you say, hey, Nina, I don't know. What fosters the respect is if you are mature enough to say, you know what, I don't know, but let me find out. That will also save your business. Please do not tell clients something with conviction when you really don't know it to be the truth. If you don't know if the client is entitled to a refund, don't just tell them that they are to close the deal, because you'll have a mess on your hands later if they cancel and they're expecting you to follow through on your word. If you don't know, admit that you don't know. Well, Mrs. Smith, I'm not really sure if you are entitled to a refund, but let me do a little bit of research and I'll get back with you. That is professional behavior. If you do not know, admit it. It is not a chink in your armor at all. Smart people know that there's always something else to know, and we continuously learn every day. Let your clients know that you don't know, and then offer to do the research to find the answer. Again, this is something that can carry over into your everyday life. You can use this tactic in your relationships with your significant other. Try using this with your children and see how they respond. So many parents get caught up in the persona of knowing everything. I know everything. I'm not a know-it-all. I'm a know a lot. There's a difference. I know a lot of things, but I am not ashamed to tell one of my adult children, hey, you know what? I don't know, but let me get back with you. Or I'll say, stand by and I'll go do the research and come back. Be mature enough to admit that you do not know and understand that that is not an insult that you don't know. Admit that you don't know, and then go the extra step to offer to do the research to find the answer. That will carry you a long way in your new profession. Operate in integrity. Take a moment and type in the chat box, what does integrity mean to you? I'm going to open this chat box to see what you guys are saying. Type in the chat box, what does integrity mean to you? And then we'll move a little further. What does integrity mean to you? Honest and open conversations, doing the right thing. Wait, let me go back. Doing the right thing even when nobody is watching. Honesty, being honest and doing what you say you will do. Principles, loyalty, word is bond, truthful, exactly. Honesty, operating with honesty every time. Loyalty, a moral right, being honest. You guys have the right concept. The common thread in that is honesty, right? A part of professionalism is operating in integrity, and that ties into admitting when you don't know something, right? Understand that good ethics is a non-negotiable thing. There is no way around it. There are no variations of it. It is what it is. In order to be a successful professional, you have to operate in honesty. Do what you say you're going to do. I'm a person that does not make promises. And the reason why I don't make promises is because life happens. And I never want to be in a position with a person where life has gotten in the way of me carrying through my word. Now, it's just a personal thing for me. I'm not saying it's wrong to make promises because some people do. I have made very few promises in my life, very few. This is the reason why. I would hate to be in that position. And even with my children, the common thread is we will see if this can happen. I'll see if I can get this done. Unless it is something concrete that I know for a fact that life cannot get in the way of making this happen, I will not even comment on it. Or I'll say, let me see if I can get this done, or let me see if I can make this happen. Let me try. You have to definitely operate in integrity, because once people lose faith in who you are as a person, that is it for the relationship. That is it for the business transaction. That is it. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. And what I've learned, and I'm taking into 2022, that no is a complete sentence that does not require an explanation. If it is something that you don't feel comfortable with doing, no, thank you, is a complete sentence, and stand in it. Your integrity at the end of the day is really all that you have, your faith and your integrity, and they both walk hand in hand. If you are going to be a good business person, a good spouse, a good daughter, a good mother, you have to move in integrity and lead by example. Finally, surround yourself with other professionals. Find a mentor. What that means to me is that if you are the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. So you should always be seeking someone who is on the path that you are looking to go on yourself. And that's in any realm. If you are looking to have a child after the age of 40, the best thing that you can do is find a specialist that can help you, an OBGYN, and a person who's done it. That would be a mentor. So it doesn't have to be a person that has it all figured out. It just needs to be a person that has achieved the goal that you are trying to achieve. So surround yourself with other professionals. Iron really does sharpen iron. If you're moving with a group of professionals that are all having success, that'll bleed off on you as well, because each of you should be requiring greatness of the other. That is the dance. that happens between people who are in relation. And that goes for any type of relationship. Whoever you're dealing with should be motivating you to be the best version of yourself. That's in business and in everyday life. So surround yourself with other professionals or other people who are doing what you would like to do. Find yourself a mentor that can help motivate you to get to where you need to get to. Now, let me preface this by saying, it is not your mentor's responsibility to call you every day to ask you, have you gotten your work done? It is their responsibility to lead you by example, but you still have to put in the work. You still have to seek out the knowledge. You still have to seek it out. So it requires you to actually have some type of movement in that. Again, it's a dance. If you have a dance partner, they don't just stand there in front of you while you do all the dancing. You guys dance together. It's a give and take. So make sure that you are ready to do your part as well. Now, this is for those of you who have decided to build a team and who are actually mentors in your everyday life. So are you a mentor? What are the qualities that you must have in order to be a great mentor? Reliability. Again, let your yes be yes and your no be no. If you tell somebody that you're going to be somewhere, be there. If the world is falling down around you, you still show up. Reliability can make or break your business, and it can also make or break your relationship with the person that you are mentoring. You never know what a person may need from you at that moment that can help be a catalyst to their success. I can honestly say that there was never a time that I text or called Tony Ward that she did not answer. There was never a time. Never. I could count on her. She was reliable to a fault, and I thank God for her every day. Communication. Be open and honest and willing to communicate, even if it's a hard conversation to have. Be honest with the people who are trusting you to lead them to their next level of success, whatever realm that happens to be in. Communicate. If what they're doing is not right, communicate that to them and let them know this is not the way to do this, but here's a way that you can do this and get this done. So you don't just pick apart their actions, you give them something to replace the wrong action with. Does that make sense? Integration. You do not, as a mentor, you do not want to sit high and look down low. I have heard multiple times in this particular company that new agents have gotten in and felt like leadership were unapproachable. It's definitely not a reputation that we want to have. It's definitely not. So you want to integrate yourself as a mentor into the realm of where your partners are. You need to be accessible. You need to know what's happening with them, because sometimes what's happening in their everyday life can actually be a barrier for them being successful in their business. So if you don't know that your partner has just suffered an evacuation and they're now living out of a hotel, you don't know why they're not showing up for trainings. You're just assuming they're not showing up and saying, okay, well, you're not going to be successful because you're not showing up for the trainings, but you don't know their life situation is now an issue. It's a barrier. So if you're integrated in their success and you're actually having conversations with them, even if it's only once a week or so, you're checking in with them, they're checking in with you. If you're integrated in their lives, you'll be able to help them navigate around the everyday life, the stuff that comes up that can take us out and keep us from being successful. Make sure that you are being reliable, you're communicating, and you are integrating yourself into your partner's lives. And finally, being dependable. Being dependable is something that is so key that it can really make or break someone's entire life. There was a time that I was being followed. I was at home in Detroit, Michigan, and was dealing with some road rage. And I was being followed by some young people. And they had pulled up next to me and they were flashing, guns at me. And I was speeding to get to my parents' house. And I pulled up in front of my parents' house and I yelled my father's name. I only yelled dad. My father ran out of the door to protect me. Dependable. And I knew that I can count on that morning, noon, or night. It's the same concept with your partners. They need to know that they can depend on you if they need something, if they need the support, if they had just booked a $50,000 vacation and then the clients cancel it. They need to be able to depend on you to talk them off the roof. It might not be a big deal to you, but it could be a deal breaker for them. This could cause them to close their business completely. You want to be dependable where they know that if I need a word of encouragement, I can get that from my mentor. I can get that from my sponsor. I can get that from my success coach. I can get that from my parent. I can get that from my friend. Be a person that is dependable and let that bleed over into every area of your life. I'm blessed to say that I have a handful of people that I can depend on. And I try to be that same thing to people who lean on me. Are you coachable? Type in the chat box, what does coachable mean to you? What does coachable mean to you? Type in the chat box, what does coachable mean to you? Okay, let me go back. Hey, Jody. Jody says, coachable means willing to learn and put it into practice. Cheryl Lynn says, listening to mentors and following their lead. Gary says, hey, Gary, and tell Daphne I said hello and we're praying for her. Open to listening and learning. That's good. Hi, Jania. You can take constructive criticism. That is a major key. Shauna says, able to listen and apply the lessons to your life. That's good. Hey, Ron Higgs, Go Consultant, willing to learn. Absolutely. Jennifer says discipline. Yes. Understanding, that's Sierra, understanding that you can still learn so much more, letting go of pride. Sierra, that's major, major, major. Lisa says, hey, Sora, following suggestions. Absolutely. Althea says, being able to be taught, even if there's an old way to do it. That's good. That's good. That's good. Taking advice and applying it, open to constructive criticism, able to take feedback and apply it. A teacher, a trainer, be able to take criticism. I'm seeing the common thread is to be able to take criticism as growth moments. Can follow and open to constructive criticism. Absolutely, absolutely. You guys actually have it. Annie says, hey, Annie, being open to asking and receiving feedback. Looking inward at how you can move forward and being interested in growth. You don't take things personally or as criticism. Instead, you see it as an opportunity. Hey, Tandri, taking advice and applying it. You guys have this down packed. I'm impressed. Jordan says open-mindedness. Absolutely. Each of you guys are absolutely correct. You're correct. Open to be taught and being willing to apply it. Those two things have to go together. Being open to actually take whatever that advice is and doing it. Now, there was a time in my life that I took pride in being the age that I am, because in my peer group, people look to me to be the problem solver. I'm the Olivia Pope, the enforcer, the parent of my peer group. And it's understood that, if you need to have it done, you ask Nina, she's going to come up with a solution. Now, even if it's a sensitive situation and we might have to cry it out for a minute, we're going to cry for a minute, but then that's going to be it. I'm looking for solutions now. So if you're looking for somebody to have a pity party with, I'm not that girl. I'm the one that I'm going to console you, and then we're going to get it done. But in order for you to be able to fix whatever the situation is, you have to be able to take that advice. Now, I was a person that was stellar at giving the advice, I wasn't open to receive the advice. And I had to bust my head and my behind quite a few times before it dawned on me, like, maybe I should be open to take advice from other people. It took a while for me to get that concept, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. And I know people who have dealt with this in their lives. But what is a great example of growth is being able to say, hey, I was immature then, and I was full of myself then, but I got tired of having the scrapes and the bruises from bumping my head and my behind, dealing with these life things when I could have just asked for help and been open to receive what people had to give me. I am not a know-it-all. I'm supposed to take in some information too, process that, and then give that information away so that I can help other people too. So don't do like I did in my younger years. Be open to take not just a constructive criticism. And sometimes we do take that personally. We take it as a personal hit instead of looking at it like this person may be saving me from something that is catastrophic and could ruin my life. That's all a part of being coachable, and it can bleed over into your personal life. So you can use that at work, you can use that in your relationships, you can use this in your travel business. Being coachable can really help you be in a position to elevate to the next level of your success. What is the best way to evolve with evolution travel? I'm going to go to the chat box again because I want to make sure that you guys are getting something from this. What is the best way, in your opinion, to evolve with evolution travel? And there's no wrong answer to this, so don't be afraid or be shy or embarrassed to offer what your opinion is or offer a comment. What is the best way to evolve with evolution travel? Stay connected, Mona, that's key. Stay plugged in. Plug into the trainings. Follow the right cat to be coachable, right? I love it. Do the work and stay connected. Stay engaged. Join and learn all you can. Stay connected. Do the trainings and ask questions. Always be plugged in and being a student of the business. Absolutely, brother. Stay connected. Stay on top of the trainings and certifications, trainings, and keep learning. You guys have got it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Be coachable, continue to improve, and keep engagement. There is literally no reason why you guys will not be successful in this business and in your everyday lives. Like we said, we are going to do what in 2022? We are going to thrive, right? So make sure as these comments are coming into the chat box that you're going in and taking screenshots and taking pictures of them so that you can use this information, not just what I'm saying, but take what your partners are adding in too. This is a part of being coachable, taking suggestions from other people as well, and implementing that in your business, in your life, so that you can use these things. All of these things are the best way to evolve with evolution travel, by staying plugged in. You'll hear us say that over and over and over again. Hey, Tanya, stay plugged in and ask when you need help. Let's park here for a minute. Ask when you need help. I have heard so many partners say, I didn't ask my sponsor because they're busy. I didn't ask my platinum because I know they're busy. I didn't ask my founders council member because I know they're busy. Yes, everybody is busy. Everybody has something to do, but it is also our responsibility to help you. As long as you are willing to do your part and you're doing your part, please do not hesitate to ask for help. Do not suffer in silence, because a closed mouth does not get fed, right? A closed mouth does not get fed. Do not suffer in silence. Please do not hesitate to ask for help when you need it. That is a surefire way to keep yourself from thriving in 2022. And that's what we are doing from January 2 all the way to December 31st. We are thriving in 2022. Stay plugged in, because you can't get what you need if you don't show up for it. Stay plugged in. Ask for help when you need help. remain coachable, take the trainings. All of that information is the best way to evolve with evolution travel. And don't just stop there. Use these principles in your everyday life. So again, I'm asking, are you coachable? Ask, receive, give. That's the circle of assistance. Ask, receive, give. If you take a moment and you look at people who are successful, you'll find a common thread. They have asked for help at some point in time. Nobody is self-made. Nobody is a self-made millionaire, billionaire. Nobody has done it by themselves. Nobody has. And if they say that they have, there's a lie in there somewhere. They've either asked their parent for help. They've asked a merchant for help. They've asked a bank for help. Asking a bank for a loan is asking for help. Nobody is an island. We may live on them, but we are not islands. Everybody has asked for help in some way, shape, or form. Once you receive that help, then you use it. Once you have used it, your next responsibility as a professional and just an overall good person who operates in good ethics is to give that information away. Each one, teach one to reach one. Those that are the most successful are people who have figured out this circle of assistance. Ask for help, be coachable enough to receive the help, diligent enough to use it, and then give it away to help someone else. If you operate in that circle of assistance, I guarantee you that you will be successful. And not just in your travel business, but in everyday life. Operate under that principle, the circle of assistance. So let's talk about keeping it real, keeping it a buck, keeping it 100 as it relates to professionalism. Find the balance between sharing who you are and being professional. It is definitely a teeter-totter type deal. You have to find the balance. Now, for those of you who don't know me personally, I will let you know that I am very multifaceted and I come off different in print than I do in live real person. So you may think that I'm one way and you end up finding out, oh, wait, she's totally different. Yeah, I am. So I do have different parts of my personality. God knows my heart, but I do cuss like a sailor. I just don't do it on social media. Find a balance between sharing who you are and being a professional. I do share my life on social media. I let people know what's happening with me when I'm having a hard time. I talk about it because it's therapeutic for me. And then that's a way that I can be open for people to pour back into me, to give me solutions on how I can feel better or how I can solve or resolve the issue that I'm having at that moment. Sharing what's happening in my life is necessary. Me cursing about it absolutely isn't. And people who may be interested in doing business with me may not want to do business with me after I'm just done cussing about how crazy my ex-husband has been acting in the last 48 hours, right? So you got to find a balance between sharing who you are as a person and being professional. Now, I'm not saying be fake. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying be professional and find the balance. Find the balance between the two. So it's some inbox messages that would probably knock your socks off if you read them, but I would never put that information out in the public, in the general public. I just wouldn't do that. So I'm asking you to find the balance between those two. Say it, forget it, write it, regret it. This was a lesson that it took so long for me to teach my oldest child. I have a 25-year-old son that lives in Michigan. And he used to write everything down, how he felt, whether it was a good or a bad feeling, whether it was good or bad words, and the teachers would find it in school. Now, this child carried a 3.8 all through elementary and middle school, and then close to a 4.0 in high school, graduated from a private school. I never had to pay a dime in tuition because he's brilliant. But he would write the most asinine things down, and I could not understand it. Like, Who raised you? Animals? Why are you writing these things down? And then I had to operate in a different space with him to teach him, hey, I'm not telling you not to feel these things. I'm not telling you that your feelings are not valid. I'm saying if you just have to get that out of your system, say it. But don't write it down, because then that's proof. It's evidence. Say it and get it out of your system. If you have to go and scream in the parking lot, if you have to go and take a ride and scream all the way there or curse in the car, if you have to turn up the raunchiest music that you have in your car just to get all of that frustration out of your system, say it and get it out of there, and then forget about it. But if you write it, if you send it in a text message, if you memorialize it on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, it's out there, even if you delete it. Post and deletes get put on the shade room all the time. If you post it, if you send it in a text message, if you send it in an email, it is out there now and you can't take it back. But if you say it, it's out of your system. You can go on about your life and forget about it. This is a major key that can carry you far in your life. Say it, forget it, write it, regret it. Keeping it real, would you do business with you after following yourself on social media? Now, I don't want to embarrass anybody, so I'm not going to ask you to type that in the chat box unless you want to. But if your answer is no, you've got some work to do, right? If your answer is no, you've got a little bit of work to do. All is not lost. We have a new chance to do something new so that we can thrive in 2022. Would you do business with you after following yourself on social media? Clean your social media page up if your answer is no. If your answer is yes, do more of the same, but keep it real with yourself. If the answer is no, do the necessary work to clean your social media page up, to ride that thin line of sharing who you are and still keeping it professional, because you can do that. You can still show your personality without being raunchy about it. You can still give your opinion without cursing somebody out about it. Find that balance between the two and work that out until your answer that is no becomes a yes. If you would do business with you after following yourself on social media, then you're well on your way to your next level of professionalism. So let's do a quick recap. Business professionalism. Know and understand what it means to be a professional. If you are a mentor, be sure to demonstrate that behavior that others can mimic and be successful as a professional. So think about what you're doing before you do it if you are a mentor. If someone takes this behavior that you're demonstrating and they do it, would they be successful? If the answer is no, rethink what you're doing. Because as a mentor, you're responsible for leading by example. If you're a sponsor, you fall into that realm. If you're a success coach or a corporate trainer, you fall into that realm because people will follow what you do. It's okay to be a copycat, but you have to copy the right cat, right? You have to make sure that you are the right cat to follow, whether you feel like it that day or not, whether you feel good that day or not, whether you feel like being bothered that day or not. You're allowed to have your feelings. It's how you process them that can make you a professional or not, a good mentor or not. Be coachable so that you can continue to grow as a professional. Smart people know that there's always something else to learn. Again, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Get yourself a mentor. Make sure that you're copying the right cat and that you're open to learn. Don't be a person that asks a question and you really don't want the answer, or you're not willing to do the work to get to the right answer. So I want to say Happy New Year, 2022. What's our theme? We are going to thrive. We're not going to survive 2022. We are going to thrive, right? So I'm wishing you all good luck and blessings in all that you do this year. May this be your best year yet. Evolution Travel Independent Contractors, I personally want to thank you for choosing to be a part of our wonderful network, our wonderful company. It is definitely a we movement, and we are 6 years strong in the game. And they said that we wouldn't last 6 months, and we are a multi-million-dollar commission earning company 6 years later. And we are better because you guys have decided to not only join us, but to grow and to thrive with us. 2022 is going to be our best year yet. So are you committed to doing what you need to do to thrive as a professional in your life and in Evolution Travel? Can I get a yes in the chat box from everybody? Can I get a yes? Are you willing to do what you need to do to thrive as a professional in 2022? Yes, yes, yes. We got all yeses. Okay, I'm looking at the names and I'm looking at the yeses. So if I tap you on the shoulder to ask you what's going on, I want to hear what you are doing to make sure that you are thriving all year. And if it gets too heavy, if your load gets too heavy, don't hesitate to talk to someone. Do not suffer in silence. Let us know what we can do to help you along the way. It is definitely a we movement, and we are in this together. We are better together. So let's thrive in 2022. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you for choosing to be a part of our we movement. I'm your 1-star platinum pineapple, Mrs. Nina Jackson Mitchell. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Deidre, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
All right, family, do me a favor while you're in the chat box. Let's show Nina some New Year's love. Wasn't that amazing? I told you to be prepared to take notes because she definitely kicked the door off the hinges to get 2022 started. So many amazing nuggets. So family, I trust that you're putting them into practice immediately. Don't put it off. Thank you so much, Nina, for that awesome training tonight on business professionalism. We are excited to get the year started. We look forward to seeing many of you at the birthday party. Again, if you have not gotten your ticket, it is not too late to make that decision to join the party in Las Vegas. It's this coming weekend. So get your tickets and make sure you come prepared to have a great weekend with the Evo family. With that being said, family, this training will be posted on the Evolution Travel page. In the media folder, there is a folder that says do not delete. All of our Sunday night training videos are posted there. So give me a little bit of time to get it processed tonight, and I will get it uploaded shortly. And if you want to replay that over and over again, you can go there and find that in all of our trainings. Family, we are excited to get started with 2022. Have an amazing year, and we will see you back here, not next week, because we will be off next week due to the birthday party, but we will be back in 2 weeks. So family, have a better than amazing week, and we will see you soon. This call is officially over.